Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be doing a really quick mini wrap up for May as well as my June TBR. So let's just get right into it. So for those who did not watch my May TBR video, I will link it above in case you want to check out like the full length video of all the books that I wanted to read for May. But there were actually 3 left over from April, and so those I actually finished quite early on. I finished reading Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, which I have a video review of that shortly. I still need to film it though. I also finished reading Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. This review is already up on my blog, so you guys can check that out if you guys are interested. I will link my blog down below. And then I also finished reading Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. That book I actually returned to the library already, so I don't have it with me, but I finished that one during my readathon. So the readathon lasted about a week, and I actually finished quite a number of books during that readathon, not to mention like the ones I already mentioned. So I also finished The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This book is so good. I already did a review for this on my blog. I also finished reading The Shining by Stephen King, which I already returned to the library as well. Review is also on my blog. And then I also finished reading The Library of Fates by Didi Karana, which is another book that I got from the library, which I also returned already, so I don't have it with me. I have that review, or I will have the review up shortly. Then after the readathon ended, I actually managed to finish 3 more books and started on a 4th one, and those 3 are Freefall by Joshua David Bellin. I will have a video review on this up somewhat soon. And I also finished reading The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. This will also be a video review, and oh my god, this book is so good, guys. Like, oh my god. And then the 3rd book that I finished is Infamous by Sherilyn Kenyon. This was actually not the first book in the series. This is actually book 3, but this is the first book of the series that I need to finish because I already read the first 2 books. So I finished the first one, and I am in the middle of the 2nd one right now. And that book is Inferno by Sherilyn Kenyon. I'm about halfway done right now, or like 150, so not too bad. Hoping to finish this in the next day or so because I did finish reading Infamous in a day, so not expecting too much. Not expecting too much time spent for the rest of the series, really. So the first few books I need to finish in June is essentially the rest of the Chronicles of Nyx series. I finished 3, halfway down 4, so I just have 5, 6, and 7, which are these 3 books right here. Another series that I need to finish that are left over from May actually is the Charlie Davidson series. I did not get to pick them up at all, but I don't really expect to spend too much time on these either. I mean, I don't remember them being really long and really like intense, so I think I finished these fairly quickly as well. I have books 9, 10, 11, and 12 here, so yeah, I have these 4 books here. So in the next few days I'm hoping to finish these within a few days as well. So once I finally catch up to the leftover May books, the first book that I really want to read during this month is Manhattan Beach by Jennifer Egan. So for those who did not watch my May TBR, I had mentioned in that video that they have this program here in New York City, which is like one book program or something like that, and I wasn't sure which book they were going to pick at the time of the video, and they picked the book a few days after, and they picked Manhattan Beach. So that's why I'm going to read this time around, and I have to figure out which day I want to go and do the discussion with them, because they have a few days here and there that's up already on the website, but I'm not sure which day I'm available. I was originally going to go on this Thursday, but I had this concert that I might end up going instead, so I had to figure that out. I haven't decided yet, but this is definitely the first book that I really want to finish, obviously before the discussion events. So book 1. And I guess for a short blurb for those who are interested, so according to the front flap short blurb, it says,
Anna Kerrigan, nearly 12 years old, accompanies her father to visit Dexter Styles, a man who, she gleans, is crucial to the survival of her family. She is mesmerized by the sea beyond the house and by some charged mystery between the 2 men. Years later, her father has disappeared and the country is at war. Anna works at the Brooklyn Naval Yard, where women are allowed to hold jobs that once belonged to men, now soldiers abroad. She becomes the first female diver, the most dangerous and exclusive of occupations, repairing the ships that will help America win the war. war. One evening at the nightclub, she meets Dexter Styles again and begins to understand the complexity of her father's life, the reasons he might have vanished. With the atmosphere of a noir thriller, Jennifer Egan's first historical novel follows Anna and Styles into a world populated by gangsters, sailors, divers, bankers, and union men. Manhattan features a dazzling proposition exploration of a transformative moment in the lives and identities of women and men of America and the world. It is a magnificent novel by the author of A Visit from the Goon Squad, one of the great writers of our time.
So it is a historical fiction, so I'm a little worried about that, but I think the premise sounds really, really interesting, and it's supposed to be kind of a thriller as well. So really hoping that this book lives up to its hype, and I'm excited to discuss it with other people of New York City. So this would be the first book that I really want to pick up during this month. So the second book that I really want to finish reading during this month is The Fall of Grace by Amy Fellner Dominy. I actually received this book from the author herself, and I told her that I was going to do a review on this sometime in June and July, so I obviously have to read it before I review it, so this is why this book is super urgent on my list. So just a short, quick blurb in terms of what this book is about, even though I already did one technically for my book haul video. But basically this book is about a girl called Grace whose life is essentially perfect, and then all of a sudden things fall apart and news breaks out that the investment fund that her mother runs is a scam, and she is now called a thief, and now she's trying to figure out how to clear her mother's name as well as find the millions of dollars that are unaccounted for. And then there's a guy called Sam Rivers who essentially is on her trail and trying to figure out what secrets she uncovers. So now Grace is trying to risk everything to figure out the truth. So this book looks really good. I'm really excited for it. So this is the second book on my list. So next two books on my list is actually the Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard series by Rick Riordan. I believe it's book 2 and book 3, which is The Hammer of Thor and the Ship of the Dead. I already read the first book, so that's that. And the third book, really, I'm reading it because it won the Goodreads Choice Award, so at least that book will accomplish that reading challenge. So that's the main reason why I'm picking this book right now. So for the next 3, or technically 4 books, as one of them has a book 2, are books that have been on my shelves for way too long, and I really want to clear out some more space, so I'm trying to read them as quickly as possible. And the first book from that pile is Aftermath by Clara Kenzie. I received this book really long time ago, but the cover is quite simple. I like it, actually. It's really pretty, I think. And according to the flap of it, it says,
Charlotte survived 4 long years as a prisoner in the attic of her kidnapper, sustained only by dreams of her loving family. The chance to escape suddenly arrives, and Charlotte fights for her freedom. But an answered prayer turns into heartbreak. Losing her has torn her family apart. Her parents have divorced, dad's a glutton for fame, mom drinks too much, and Charlotte's twin is a zoned-out druggie. Her father wants Charlotte to write a book and go on a lecture tour, and her mother wants to keep her safe, a virtual prisoner in her own home. But Charlotte is obsessed with the other girl who was kidnapped, who never got a second chance at life, the girl who nobody but Charlotte believes really existed. Until she can get justice for that girl, even if she has to do her own, wherever the danger, Charlotte would never be free.
So, I don't know, this book sounds really riveting, and I'm really excited for it, and I really want to finish this. So for the next book on my list is Generation Next by Ollie White, and this is the one with the book 2, which is called Generation Next: The Takeover, which I don't have. I had to check it out from the library. I haven't gotten to it yet. But this is by the author, who is a YouTube sensation. I actually really never heard of the author until I got this book. But anyways, according to the front flap, it says,
things haven't been exactly easy for Jack recently. Life for any teenager has its ups and downs, and he's no exception. But when Jack meets a new group of friends who are every bit as geek as they are chic, his luck seems to change for the better. Each of the group is talented, and when they pool their abilities together to create Generation Next, an incredible new social media platform, it's clear that they're onto something special. What if your Instagram account grew by hundreds of thousands of followers overnight, and big companies were suddenly fighting each other to offer you sponsorships? When Gen Next suddenly goes viral, Jack and his friends are thrust into a crazy world of fame and financial success, which turns out to be as terrifying as it is awesome, because it quickly becomes clear someone out there is determined to trip Jack up at every step. If Jack doesn't find out who's trying to sabotage his life and fledgling business, soon everyone he cares about, his friends, his family, and the girl he's falling for, could be in danger of losing everyone they've struggled so hard to achieve.
So I mean, this book looks really good. It kind of is, I mean, I don't really know too much about the YouTuber himself, to be honest. I just know he's really famous, but it kind of follows something that can be like a reality show, you know? So anyways, I'm pretty excited for this book. The final book on my list of this June TBR pile is Enter Title Here by Rahul Kanakia. I hope I pronounced that name right. But basically, it kind of reminds me of college, like high school and college all over again. So I have a girl called Reshma, who is a college counselor's dream. She's like she's top ranked senior at her ultra competitive Silicon Valley high school, but she wants to go into Stanford. And for her to go with that, with a bunch of other perfect students in the country, she needs a hook to bait them all. So what does she do? She apparently lands herself a literary agent, and now with her new agent's help of scoring a book deal, she thinks she knows that she'll finally have the key to Stanford. But she's convinced that no one wants to read a novel about a study machine like her. So she becomes this regular American girl to become this relatable protagonist. And she starts doing things that normal people do. For starters, she has to make friends, or a friend, and then get a boyfriend. And then she's planned the perfect ending. After struggling for hundreds of pages with her own perfectionism, Reshma will learn that meaningful relationships can be more important than success. A character arc librarians and critics alike will enjoy. So of course, nothing goes as planned, and now she just has to decide how far she'll go for that satisfying ending. So anyways, this looks like it'd be a really, really funny, like a pretty hysterical book, so I'm really excited to read this. So anyways, that's all of my books that I want to read in June. It was supposed to be a really short pile, but things happened and I just kept adding books, so now my pile is actually quite high, I think, because I still have those leftovers from May, and those are already like, what, 7 books? Yeah. So I feel like those leftovers is already a whole month worth of books, but of course, me being me, I was like, no, I have to read more books. So anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. If you have your own June TBR list, do let me know down below. I'm curious to see what other books people are reading for this month or hoping to read this month. But anyways, that's all I have to say. So if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. That's it for today, guys. Thank you. Bye.